Alrighty, Doctor from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. And this looks like another. It's not launching itself this morning yet. The market hasn't picked up big. It just is. Let's put it that way. But I don't see any particular reason why they would want to back it off at this point. I mean, their objective is to just give that good feeling that everything is fine. Doesn't matter what you pay for food or cars or rent or houses or interest rates. That's not the relevant thing at this point. They just need something to point at that says, look, we're doing something right. Market's at all-time highs. So it was less than 1%, or maybe, no, I think it was more like about less than 3% away from all-time highs, 2%, something like that. And now it's cleanly through it. And, this is the era of quantitative easing. This is the era of government control of the equity markets and on an hourly basis, not a quarterly, monthly, quarterly, every 3 month basis like it used to be. Now it's influencing the market every hour of the day. They are the buyer, as we call it on the trading floors back in the old days, the buyer of last resort. That's what it comes down to. They are the buyer of last resort, and that's what keeps the markets very firm and steady. And as you can see this morning, let me just put that. I was just looking at that's the dollar index right there. And it's trying to pop up right there a little bit. You can see that. And it's trying to lift. But it's in a daily sell for a bunch of days there, and in a weekly sell since last week. So the pressure is on the product. No doubt about that. Over on the stock market side, when you take a peek at it there, let's put that screen up. There it is right there. You see the same situation. They just made, now they didn't go to a high, all-time high of the S&P, because I believe now it's 5,343.50. That's the all-time high. And that was set at I think it was last night, around 9 o'clock our time, Eastern Standard. And so they've pulled it back a little bit. And the bigger question is, will they put some life into this market when they open up the New York Stock Exchange in 57 minutes or not? That's the bigger question. We'll see how they treat it there, and if they take it up. And so in other words, that spot, let's do it right here like this. That spot right there is all-time highs right there. And so you can see we got very close this morning. Got up into the, where did it get up to? Got up to 42.50, and 43.50 is the all-time high. So it's just, and that was made last night. And it's, again, it's fun times at the marketplace. It's a bull market. They're buying them. They're not going to stop buying them. The job of the Federal Reserve is to make sure these markets stay firm and stay up, and that is going to, maybe it'll let them back and fill a little bit, but overall it's just going to be strength and more strength. All right, let's see what else we take a look at here this morning. Hey, Robin, SPY looks pretty healthy. Everything looks kind of interesting. We're seeing everything trying to play with. Well, a lot of the stock indices have gone into weekly buys last week. So on the beta, they've done that. And on the old platform we're looking at, we looked at a few seconds ago, they're through the buy numbers again. So it just shows you that the money is coming in slow and steady, not enormously enthusiastic in the sense of like they have to buy it this minute. They'll nibble away for a little bit. That's the Federal Reserve learning to act like a trader, which is nice. It's better than them just constantly pounding on the upside. All right, let's take a look at the euro. Let's see how the euro looks this morning. We'll slide over to there. Oh, let's do this too. Let's show it on the beta. You can see that there. It's coming down off of its highs today. And yeah, we're having a little problem with that, I noticed. And you can see that it's been, this is interesting, is it's been in that weekly buy on the beta throughout this whole move, whereas on the old platform, and there is the euro right there, it's been the opposite. It's been in the sell. The fast got into the buy back about 3 weeks ago, which is interesting, but the slow has just starting to join in now. And you can see here, you know, there's been strength. It's been in a daily buy from there, but on the beta, it's been reflecting the strength much more, and it's been accurate, obviously. So we're seeing that strength. Believers, I guess you could say, or let's put it this way: Europe is down so low, as Janos said yesterday about them being, it's a loaded game. They don't let you use all the tools that are necessary. And I say, go find the tools that they do allow you to use and figure how to merge them. So in other words, do binaries. If they're not going to let you build your own binary, build some other binary. Do whatever it takes to do the right type of trading, not the wrong type of trading. And that's why we labeled the webinar yesterday hot. Was it fast and stupid money? In other words, the hot money gets in there and just keeps on buying because it needs to go somewhere. Smart money will dollar average in. They'll try to buy lows, things like that. They'll set their bids lower. They'll pick up a little inventory, but they will work at buying it cheaper, not buying it higher. And stupid money always just cannonballs. It goes worse than hot money. They never look back trying to buy cheap. Just total run forward or nothing. So in this case here, you can see the euro has been trying to inch up, and it's been doing a fair job at it. Been in a lot of daily buys more than anything else, and every time it goes into a daily sell, it finds a way to get back into a daily buy. It's definitely let's put it this way. Oh, did that? I guess that should be back here, shouldn't it? Right there. You can see it's through the zero line, and there's no dot. And then you can see where you have a green dot and a red dot, and it tries to pierce, so it's still in that buy. And then the next day it's there, and you can see it pushes itself into the sell and then goes right back into a buy. So pretty much most of the time we get a sell ever since we've started to move, up in here. And then when we go over to the beta, see that same thing where we are 4 weeks in a buy right there. It's been pushing up, and up. And so that tells us that they are looking down the road 6 months to a year thinking, okay, Trump will win. I use the same analogy all the time because we've always thought it and talked it on Wall Street back in the 60s and the 70s and so forth, and even earlier. And 80s and so forth, and that is when America catches a cold, gets the flu, the world, when America sneezes, when America sneezes, the world catches the flu. Okay, so in this case here, a better economy means that Europe will do better, and so money is trying to find places to park. Like I saw this morning, Siemens. The numbers were not very good, and the stock was down. Nothing major, maybe half a percentage point this morning, but they were out there trying to, Siemens turned around and sold a division or something like this. Said they were selling a division for $4 billion, just to bring in some capital, taking advantage of someone wants to buy it, and they would like to have that cash in the account, and so. When the U.S. starts to turn around, Europe is going to feel it. And I think that's what you're seeing here now with the way the euro there has been trying to lift up, and it doesn't seem to want to back off. And the same thing with the cable. The cable looks the same way. put the cable up on the board there. There's the cable, looking the same way. The weekly's been in a weekly buy for 3 weeks, but finally we're getting the slow to join in. And then when we go over to the cable on the beta, it's 4 out of 5 weeks. Where's that mouse at? Right there. There it is. 4 out of 5 weeks it's been in the buy. Right there. The fast and the slow joined in. And, you see here, it's been climbing since the 21st. Just like there. Just climbing up, 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 and up. And for 1 week it slid back into the sell. Right there as this thing was starting to press down. And then it jumped into the weekly buy again last week. And that's the strength of it all. It just unfortunately the beta still we're working to try to fix that so it reflects the Saturday or the 10th or something like that, the Friday, like the way our platform does right here. And it's there right there. This reflects the Friday, the close of Friday, and this is the beta reflects Mondays. We're trying to straighten that out. All right. Let's see. What else is there? Let's see. Let's go over to quiet morning. No one's chattering about anything. Janos hasn't jumped in, and his meme stocks are selling down again. I didn't look at them, but I hear they said that they're moving down again this morning. And again, that's the whole idea with those things. Basically you want to sell call spread binaries when those things pop. Gives you a limited risk. You won't get stopped out, and when it rolls over like it usually does, because they're not rushing towards those meme stocks because they have great earnings. They're rushing towards them because they're in vogue. People think that they should be more priced because a kitty or whatever particular product they're selling has them excited. Okay, from there we'll go over to the Swiss right there. And the Swiss went into the sell yesterday. Let's put a sell there. There it is right there. I could have sworn we did that yesterday too. Let me save that this time. There we go. And you can see we're playing with the weekly sell at the same time there. It just says to me, the Swiss government, we talked about it, the central bank is fighting the inflation situation. It seems like they're doing a really good job about it, as far as I can tell. They didn't get into an effect like, run back up to 101 or something like that. They just barely ran to 92. Coming off of that 83.5, which was an incredibly strong move to begin with. So, you can see here, the Swiss is actually trying to tell us, yeah, money's coming back into Europe. Now, the 6 major currencies, the euro and the yen and the British pound and the Canadian dollar and the Swiss and the kroner, they're the 6 most active currencies in the world after the dollar. So they're very strong, consistent signals to what's going on in the world economy. And so from there, we go take a look at the yen. Right there. Yen went into the sell yesterday. Looks like it's trying to perk up a little bit. The weekly, you notice that the fast, has broken down here, and now it's breaking underneath the 0 line. But we still have a very strong slow, banging against the top manifold, not really giving up. So, we're not expecting anything to change this week. In other words, we expect to see the yen stay like this. Saw a story this morning where they were talking about, how can they get the interest rates up higher because the 10-year bond is yielding something like 0.93. So, compared to the 10-year bond here in the States or the 10-year bond in Europe, which we could take a quick look. Let's go take a quick look at the bond market, because the bond market is an insight. As they refer to them as the vigilantes, because the Fed has a hard time competing with them, because just the sheer size of the bond market is so enormous, and it's not a listed market. So the only influence the Federal Reserve can do is in the futures market at at the exchange. Let's see, where is that? Trading right there, and there's the bonds, and you'll see that in a few seconds. Here it is. So you can see right there, a 10-year U.S. bond is yielding 4.34. Let's see if we can find the Japanese one. The Japanese one. Let's see. Right there. And there is the 10-year. And there is the 10-year yielding 9.28 now. I thought it was around 9.3, but that's close enough. You can see the 15-year is at 1.5, the 20-year is at 1.73, and the 30-year is at 2.0. So, but they're trying to get the interest rates a little bit higher on the short term compared to, say, the U.S. bonds. And there's the U.S. bonds. The 30-year there is trading at 4.48, twice the number. Hence the reason people buy dollars, because of the higher interest rate. You see 30-year is 4.5% in England, 4% for the 10-year. Even the 2-year is at 4.25 right there. And that's in England. And then you can see the German government, 10-year is at 2.4, and the 30-year is at 2.5, basically 2.6, and the 20-year is at 2.6, right around there, 2.629 versus 2.574. Just hanging around in those areas. So, they're trying to get the bond prices a little bit higher in Japan. They've been trapped with that stagflation now for so long. All right. Let's take a look and see how the stock market is doing at the same time again. We'll take a peek at that until someone comes up with a question or a query or whatever you want to call it. Let's see, where's that? Right there. Yep. There's the intraday S&P 500. Still trying to work its way back up again. They sold it down into this 34 area again. Notice it seems to be some type of shelf there developing. And I imagine if they keep on doing that, the next thing you know, they're going to be up that away. Up that away. So, and I imagine once the U.S. market opens up, then we'll see that, that action. All right, now from the where are we at? Let's see. Let's go back to the currency. We were looking at the yen there, and let's go over to let's see, yeah. So let's go take a look at the Turkish lira. And move the box down more, that's for sure. Like that now. And it's pushing up again a little bit, nothing major. We're back in that weekly buy from last week. We don't really expect to see the Turkish lira make too much of a dramatic move at this point. Stay between the 2,000 point range between 36 and 34, something like that. So which is basically a pleasure for Turkey compared to the action they've been seeing for the last 10 years. That's why we call it the Great Experiment. We're watching it live do its thing. Do your thing. All right. From there, we'll start to aim into the metals complex. So we go and take a look at the South African rand. Right there. It's been trapped, and it's banging against that little area there. It's at the 8. Let's widen this out. So it's banging against the 1830s, I guess it is, right around in there. Yeah, the 18. It's even lower, 1817, 1818. You know, it's been in that cell, and so since it's been sliding down now for about 3 weeks, we go over and look at gold. And there is the gold. And it's doing the same thing. It's been climbing for the last 3 weeks up. You know, going from the 2300 area to the 24 area, $100, which is basically about 4% of up 4%. And you know, compared to what we're seeing in silver, which is showing a lot more life in it, and copper doesn't seem to want to let go. They seem to have this very strong push in the copper market there, and you can see. Oh, and let me just show you. You know, our beta, it was flirting a little bit with the weekly sell. It's been flirting with it for a couple of weeks now. It's been trying. It's doing it again here now. You know, that's Tuesday. Or is it Wednesday? Wednesday. That's Wednesday. You know, so showing us that there's some weakness in there, and we'll see how it settles out, you know, this afternoon and this evening. See if it starts to move back up to the zero line. You can see the fast is through the zero, you know, through the plus at the moment, but the slow is trying to move into the sellish side. And you can see it's trying to climb back. I guess it's the all-time high right there. I guess that's what that is. Let's see if we can see. Yeah, that's the all-time high. So back in the kind of like the middle of April, they made an all-time high. I guess the high there was 2,448. That's the all-time high. And so we're flirting with the 2,400 area at the moment. We hit it this morning, 2,400 and $2.70. So basically 2,403. Rounding it out there. You can see all the buying. And you can see the fast and the slow over here are moving up. Then we go back to South African Rand again. You see that pressure on the downside, which, you know, puts that energy into the silver. All right, let's go check out the silver. Silver's up around the $30 area, and on the beta, it's been very solid, as you can see right there. Just pushing up, 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 and away. And we'll put it up on the other platform. And you can see right there. Very firm. Been in a buy for a while. The fast, you know, broke down, broke the manifold, and you can see that pressure on it there. And now it's doing the opposite, breaking out on the upside with the daily buy, and the weekly buy never surrendered. There's a zero. Let's put the zero line in for a second there for you. And you see there's the zero line. So, you know, it's drifted down for a week or two, and then boom, back up again. And you know, $30's $30 area is still 20 some odd dollars, $23 away from all-time highs. So, whereas gold is, you know, just inches away, you know, or you know, a centimeter away. Silver is, you know, many, many, many centimeters away. You know, it's like a kilometer away. So, as much as, you know, we expect to see silver follow gold, sometimes it doesn't do as good a job. But we are happy to see it get over that $26 area and seem to have turned it into a support, as you can see right there. You know, it's become the support to the old resistance of $26. I guess this election season is going to just keep us in this situation for a while. All right, from there we go over to copper. There it is right there. Copper doing that same thing. Lots of buying, playing with the highs yesterday, and today they were above the close at one point. Backing off a little bit now, but nothing major. And you see that's in that buy yesterday with no problem. We haven't seen the 16th jump out yet. You see the same thing on the weekly. It's all in buys. Let's put it up over here. And there it is right there doing that same thing. It was above the close yesterday. Now it's back below it a little bit. And still in a daily buy with no problem. And at the same time, that weekly doesn't seem to care. And you can see even the fast went into the buy back in here in the 370 area. And here we are trading almost banging against the $5. We're 3 days now we've banged up against the $5 area. So it's a hell of a move. A lot of strength in there. All right. Let's see what else we got here. All right. Let's go to what we've been calling the most dangerous short in the world, and that is the platinum pairs trade. And there you can see, ever since we started talking about it back in here, or here, I guess it was, we started calling it that here. But then when it got back down here to the $900 area again, we just now refer to it like we refer to the Euro Turkish lira pairs trade as the experiment, because it's got a lot of government policies, making it go from 1 to 36. Pretty dramatic move. Same here, it's going from 900 and is starting to threaten the 1100 area. So it's moving up faster than gold is moving up. It's moving up faster than silver is moving up. And you can see here it's been that weekly from back here and just refuses. As much as the fast fell down a little bit in here at one point, the slow never gave up. And once we went back into that buy again from this daily sell, it has stayed in the buy all the way up. Here we had that green and a red, so that didn't push it into the sell. Then the next day it just took care of itself, cleaned itself up, and kept on rolling along. So that is what we like to refer to as the most dangerous short in the world. Let's see. With that kind of completes the metals market. So we'll go and look at the energy market. So we'll take a look at crude oil right there. And you can see it's been on that downwardly drift, which is nice. I actually see some gasoline prices. Petrol for the automobile are dropping a little bit, a couple cents here and there, which is nice. And you can see it right here on the beta. Doing the same thing, breaking down. And we've been in that weekly sell. And you can see the fast is trying to turn up a little bit in here. It's trying to get through the zero line, trying to touch the manifold. Let's see how it looks here. It's interesting. We don't have that on here. We should have that up on here. I'll have to change that. Make sure we have that in it, because I don't think we do. And so that's the crude oil, and at the same time there is North Sea. Now North Sea, no, that's not North Sea. There's North Sea. That's the 30-year bond. North Sea weekly sell. This is the fourth week in a weekly sell, and you can see 4 days in a daily sell, and you can see that pressure on it. And a lot of selling from here. We're basically, that's 6 days, and then another 4 days. That's 6 and 4 is 10. So 11 out out of the last 13 days, 11 of them have been in the sell. Because today it's probably still in that sell because that's yesterday's close right there. But that's today's action with a red dot. So it's telling us we're probably in the sell still. All right. And then from there, we take a look at nat gas. Right there. Nat gas has been talking about like 14 days in a daily buy and 4 solid weeks in a daily buy. And it's just been climbing since late April. And then the last of the energies, let me take a sip of water here. There it is right there. This is the Spanish energy company. Only way for us to understand what's going on in Europe is by looking at the stock itself. You can see for a long time going in from April 22nd, 23rd, went into the buy at the 23 area and climbed up to the 25 area. We can emphasize that with this. Like that. It's been finding ways to climb from the 23 area, and there it is at the 25 area, jumping across it the last couple of days and then backing off again. And you got here something like 8 weeks in a weekly buy. So natural gas has been lifting slow and steady. All right, now from there, let's see. We can take a look at it. Same situation. 3 solid weeks in a buy. Just a week off. The beta is definitely giving us a little bit head start. And you can see same thing with the fast. And the daily buy is I got that consistent, something like from here. Let's move it over one like that. So only one day it got into the sell when we were in a buy, so you couldn't take it. And then the next day it went right back into the buy again. Didn't give you instant gratification, but day later, 2 days later, it gave you plenty of gratification. And again, that's why it's always nice to be trading binaries with these things compared to just the raw. Now, obviously, if you're a producer or a supplier of some form, then it's all right because you're leaning against each other. All right. Let's see now. From there, where do we go from there? Let's take a look at the planet and see how things have been going. And obviously, right there's the S&P 500. Just roaring along in daily buys for weeks now, and this is going on a second week of a weekly buy. Then take a look at the NASDAQ. This is the Tech 100 right there. Same action. Lots of buying. And then you'll see the same thing with the Dow is 3 weeks in a buy right there. And then the Russell 2000 right there is just same as the other two, the S&P and the NASDAQ. Now, let's jump over to Japan. And there is it's climbing into the buy this week. And you can see it's still down, not taking out all-time highs here. And then when we go over to Kospi is reflecting the same thing. It's going into a weekly buy. It's been in daily sells, showing pressure, but it's lifting. It flattened out here, but today they gapped it up and started to make it move. So we're starting to see some action. And the weekly is starting to make its turn also at the same time. From there, we'll go over to the Philippines. Right there. Philippines are doing the same thing. They're showing strength. See it right there yesterday. And at the same time, the daily's been up for 3 days now. You got 2 there. You got the green dot there of today. And we'll see this fill in tonight. So they are starting to, and they're not taking out their highs though. Notice not one of them. I just want to go back to the Kospi again because I don't think I emphasized that or even looked at it, and I wanted to. to see where the Kospi, how far away it was from the highs of last month. Let's see, Kospi, where are you? K, 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 K. K, 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 K. I had it. There it is. Yeah, see, it's going after those highs of last month. The March highs, no less. So it is joining in. It was really pressured. It is amazing how much pressure was on this product. You know, it went into the sell up in here, and then when it finally did roll over into the buy, the fast joined in, climbed into the buy, stayed in the buy. It's still in the buy, but the slow has been really lagging. It's been falling behind. And then from the Philippines, we go to the Shanghai. No, Taiwan. Let's go to Taiwan. Whoop. Let's go to Taiwan. Right there. There's Taiwan. You can see there's 5 weeks in a buy. You see, it's kind of vacillating, but there's definitely more daily buys than daily sells. Because that's a buy right there, then 2 days of sell, then a buy, a sell, and a buy, and a sell, and a buy. And you can see green here today. And you see it's taking out those highs over in this area here. So we're not really seeing. We're seeing action, whereas like the Kospi and this are going after their March highs with no problem, just like the American indices are. But the rest of them are not in the South Pacific or in the Pacific itself. From there, we go over and take a look at Shanghai, and we know Shanghai is lifting through its March lows at the moment. You can see it right there. Not far from it. You know, that's basically that line, but it is above it. And you can see we've been in that weekly buy over there for a good 6 weeks now. And then we go to Hong Kong, and it's even more firm and more consistent. I guess the economy in Hong Kong is bad as it is because of the Chinese central government still not holding it down. Look how far from the March highs that is. It's definitely taken off. And so many daily buys compared to just the 3 sells out of the last, what is that? From, where is that? That is mid-April. And you can see here, going on 5 full weeks of weekly buys. So Hong Kong is definitely the place to trade, and Shanghai is the place to short. In other words, that's the pair trade. Definitely looks like the winner. From there, let's go to the Singapore Straits Times right there. You can see it's taken out its March highs, and at the same time it's been in a weekly buy for 10 full weeks. And even with this little downdraft where you had 5 days of sell, it went back into the buy, and it's still chugging along. Last Friday it closed in the buy, and you can see here I think that's Friday right there. That's the 10th, yep. And that's the 10th right there. Just double checking. Yep, that's the 10th right there. All right. From there, we'll go to the All Ordinaries, slipping towards the Indian Ocean. Let's see what Australia is up to today. There you go. What a nice spike that is. How about that one, huh? Coming into the end of the week, and it looks like they've definitely are pushing this thing cleanly through the buy, and they're trying to take out their March highs. Nice. And then the Nifty 50 out of India. Let's see how they're doing. A nice strong day, that's for sure. It's the third day in a daily buy, and still in the weekly sell from this sell-off going on here. Maybe next week we'll see this thing climb into the buy, or by Friday. That could be interesting. That's the 15th, so that's yesterday's. We don't know. With this action, there's a good chance that it's even closer to the 0 line today. All right. And that pretty much plays out the Pacific and Indian Ocean region that we look at. If anybody has a stock indice they would like to see, let us know and we'll put it up on the screen there for you. Now let's drift over to Europe and see how they're doing. And there is the DAX. Probably, I would think DAX would have a little pressure on it because of the Siemens, but we'll see. Not really. You can see there's 3 weeks in a buy. And you can see there is it's 9 days in a buy. You see it's been climbing. And it's down. The DAX is down today. Let's just show it to you. We'll see how long that lasts. We still have a few hours of trading still in Germany and Frankfurt and so forth. And then from there we'll go over to France. And you see France doing the same thing. They gapped up and trying to sell it down. And it's been in the sell since basically here. And it's only found ways to go higher than lower. At the same time, we're in that weekly sell. So there's a lot of pressure on this product. But when the Federal Reserve is in buying, it's hard to, let's put it this way, never fade the Fed. Never, never, ever. And then we'll take a look at FTSE. Now, FTSE's showing all kinds of great strength since, what is that? That's April 16th? 19th. Since April 19th, it's been in a buy since right there. And it's been one strong all-time run. And the weekly, same way, 10 full weeks in a buy. Don't fade the Fed. And then we've seen what the U.S. is looking like. There's the S&P again. We started off looking at them. Just strength. NASDAQ, strength. The Dow Jones Industrial Average, a lot of strength. And, because of the 3 weeks there. And then obviously the Russell 2000. Right there. Going on a second week in a buy. And it's been in a daily buy for, what's that, 8? That's 9. 10 days it's been in a daily buy. 10 days. And it just missed the sell right there. Or maybe it did go into sell there. Yeah, it did. It went into the sell right there. Let's just show you that. It did. It made it into the daily sell for a day. And let's see where we go from there. We'll take a look at Bitcoin right there. Bitcoin's been in a daily buy for, this is the 4th day. Daily buy. There's the 3 and there's the 4 greens, and I'm sure it'll be adjusted tomorrow for that. And you can see this is the second week in a daily buy. Now the ETF that we also follow right there, GBTC, you see it's trying to climb up. Also, that's the 14th. That's not the 15th because there's no trades going on this yet. And you can see that's showing the 15th. And that, I believe, is the 15th also right there. Yep, that's the 15th. So it's not reflecting today's trading yet. So the better product to look at, obviously, is the actual Bitcoin itself. And you can see that strength. And it's climbing up. And let's see what else we got here. That's it when it comes to the indices, I guess you could say. And we can show you that the, where is it, the 30-year. We did hit it when we were looking at the, there it is right there. There's the 30-year bond. It's been showing lots of strength. Buys, was it like 2 and 4 and 6 and 8 and 9. Is that right? Yeah, 9. Then 1 sell and 4 days in a buy. So 9, that's 13. 13 out of the last 14 days, it's in a daily buy. And it went into the weekly buy last week. And fast jumped in there a couple of weeks back, right in there. I guess that would be the, was it the the 29th. And there's the 29th, which is basically the bottom right there. So since it has gone into the fast has, not the slow, just the fast, and that's always a warning sign. Follow, know that the fast, it will be fast and it'll be ahead of the curve. So, ever since then, it's been in an upwardly draft. All right, that completes the look at the global markets. And if anybody wants to see anything particular, I think I'll roam around and see what we can find to find as fascinating, or what is a surprise, or what hasn't. Let's just take a look at some of these things here. And there, let's show you some of the grains. I've been fascinated by the movement in the grains. There's the red wheat right there. It's flew into the sell yesterday, right there, and it's trying to get back into the buy today, but we have a red dot, so we have a green line over here, and we're watching it, and we're in the weekly buy, so you wouldn't take the short to begin with. Went into the buy back around the $590 area, and it's gone up to the basically $6 area, and now it's at $7. So it's a heck of a run, and it's been in that weekly buy for a while back in here, since the 575 area when it comes to the weekly. Let's take a look at regular wheat right there. Same situation. There's your daily buy in the 575 area, and it has flirted with the $7 area, and it's still in the $7. It's still in a buy. You can see it's breaking down a little bit here, but we've also been in that weekly buy since all the way back in the beginning of April. Then we'll take a look at corn, which I feed most of the food staples, and they generate all kinds of oils and so forth. Whereas the wheats obviously are bread and cookies and so forth, and here we have the corn. Let's take a look at the July corn. Right there. July corn in a daily buy. This whole move up from the 445, 450 area, and it is going as high as 475 because it's a much slower moving product, and at the same time it's been in that weekly buy throughout that whole move up. And then we'll take a look at soybeans in July. Right there. And it's been in a weekly buy for 3 weeks now from the 1175 area, and it has traded up to 1250, and then we pushed back into that sell again, but we're in the buy, so you don't want to really flirt with it. But this is the oils and tofu and all that other stuff that's going on food wise, and how many ingredients goes into so many other things that we don't even realize. And then, where do we go from there? Take a look at cattle. Take a look at cattle. There's June cattle. I see it's pushing up, but we're still not in the buy, but we went into the weekly buy last week. Went into that weekly sell in 185. It's basically $1.85 a pound, and fell down to $1.70 a pound for meat, and then now it's back up towards 178. Then we take a look at hogs. There's the hogs. Hogs in a weekly sell for a couple weeks now, and you can see daily sell from the $1.04 a pound, and yesterday or 2 days ago they got down to 99 cents a pound. So they've dropped about 5 cents a pound in there from that move, and maybe even a little bit more, about 4.5, 5 cents, safe enough to say. So that is the hogs, the bacon and all that other stuff, ribs, so on and so forth. And so that's basically that's really the inflation. When there was a time, cattle. Let me just go back to the cattle because everybody can relate to hamburgers and steak and so forth. Cattle was 70, 80 cents a pound, $1.10 a pound, and here we've gone up to almost $2 a pound at one point right there. That's the $2 area. Is that $2? No, I'm sorry, 185 area, going up to the 185 area, and it's just shows you the inflation. And when we go way, way back, you can see it was up to $1.90 area. Let's see if we can put a longer term chart up. And fix this again so we don't have to look at it that way. But let's put a longer term chart up. Oh, you're not seeing any of that. Darn it. I thought I was showing it to you. So there's cattle, and let's just go through the grains again. There's red wheat, and then there's regular wheat right there. And then let's show you the corn right there with the buys, and then the soybeans. Now let's go take a look at a longer term view of hamburger. I like steak. Let's go find a picture of steak that goes back and just shows you the explosion in the expense. Everybody knows it because we all go to the stores to buy the food. Let's see, where's that? So we go right there, and we go right there, and then we go. What is it? It's let's see if we can find it for a second. Live cattle is, what is live cattle? I see feeders. LE, that's it. So let's go with LE equals F. Cattle. And right there. And then let's take a look at a 5-year chart of it. Once it fills in. There's a 5-year chart. You can see it was under $1 during the previous presidency, and as soon as he got into office, it was at $1.09, and it has gotten as high as $1.87. It's almost doubled in price. It's like, in many ways, it reminds me of the Euro Turkish lira. It's just that massive move, and so that is, that's incredible. You can see back in there in the summer of Trump's election, it was trading in the 90-cent area. No doubt that the demand of summertime pushed it up. There's no doubt about that. It got up to like $1. Where did it get up to? It actually got up to $1.25. Let's see if we can go back even further. You can see here towards the end of the Obama years, it was up to $1.71, and then the Trump years, it was pushed down into the 80s and 90s, and now you can see this inflation again. So, Democrats, these are Democratic administrations. You can see they have a natural tendency to create inflation. I'm not sure why they do it, but they do. They really push up the inflation, put a lot of pressure on everything. All right, what should we call today's title? That's the bigger question. What can we call today's title? Because we're basically at the end, unless anybody has a question. So, let's see. Today's title. What can we call today? How about World Markets Firm? No stopping the Fed. World markets are firm. I think that sounds good enough. Something of that nature. Anybody have an opinion? I like this. Firm fed, firm market. I think to me that's the real story. There we go. All right, traders, we're out of here, and that is it. Strong fed, firm market. I like that. All right, so this is Doc from North America. We'll talk to you all tomorrow, same time, which is also Friday, TGIF. So, happy trails to you until we meet again, which will be tomorrow. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. Later, traders. Have a safe and smart trading day. Ta-ta for now.